When you're 5, you want to be a firefighter, a soccer star, an astronaut. My son toddled into our room one day when he was 5 years old and told us that he wanted to be a pain in the tonsils. Well, that's what we thought he said. He was trying to say that he wanted to be a paleontologist. You know, those guys who dig up dinosaur bones? Well, he thought that would be cool. That was his idea of success. But when you're 18, you put those silly ideas behind you. To be considered successful in our community, you have to be a lawyer, or a doctor, or an accountant. Some people want to be actuaries. Do they know what it means to be an actuary? Do they know that an actuary sits behind a computer all day, crunching numbers for insurance premiums? When I ask them what makes that attractive, I get a predictable answer. It earns me a lot of money, and it gets me great success, great status. But is that success? Surely success is much more about going to bed every night feeling great. So what is it that makes you feel great? Success. Passion is the central theme of a social commentary by William de Resevich called Excellent Sheep. He relates an anecdote about meeting some recent applicants to Yale University, where he asked them what their passion was. They looked at him blankly. Their passion was getting into Yale University. If Yale asked them to sweep leaves into a pile, they would do so passionately. If Yale asked them to organize a community service project, they would do so passionately. But it was so that it could go onto their CV. It wasn't something that welled up from within and could sustain them in the long term. None of them had that starry-eyed look that my son had when he said, "I want to be a pain in the tonsils." I didn't go to Yale, and I'm not an actuary, but I'm happy to say that I've had 2 careers which have given me tremendous satisfaction. The first was teaching, and the second, for a while, was full-time parenting. Parenting, you might ask? How can that be considered a successful career? I didn't earn any money. I was just a housewife, and the only thing I could get promoted to was gogo. But my experience is that it was an excellent career, arguably the best, and teaching was a very close second. Teaching too earns very little money, and I married a teacher, so there's no huge salary in our family, which means we've had to be selective about what we spend our money on. But far from being depressing, I've found that to be character building. We've had to question the value of things. We've had to debate our priorities, and we've been extremely happy. I consider it a highly successful career choice in my life. A lot of money is really not necessary, so don't be scared of a career that doesn't earn the top-notch salary. I think that beyond a certain level, at least, happiness ceases to depend on money. Abraham Maslow defines a hierarchy of needs, or as we might put it, things you need in order to feel great. He talks about physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, self-esteem, and self-actualization. And he added another in his later life, which was self-transcendence. So food, clothing, and a house on the bottom layers, these might need money. But the Beatles have got an apt reminder for us here, I think. In one of their famous songs, they sing, "Money can't buy me love." And from there up, at least, I think it's something else that brings us satisfaction. And so, if we're not looking for money in our careers, what will we look for? In the upper layers of Maslow's pyramid, we find needs such as self-esteem, respect by others, acceptance of facts, and finding a sense of fulfillment. Notice that to a great extent, these needs don't depend on other people. They depend on you. Your attitude is going to be a crucial factor in whether you make a life that you consider successful. Maslow does suggest one need that seems to rely on others: respect by others. But I've had days when colleagues have sat in on a lesson of mine and said to me, "Wow, Elenor, that was a fantastic lesson. But I've thought that maybe I didn't quite connect just now with the students." And so the respect, the praise doesn't stick. And the other day, I had a WhatsApp message from a student, which I was very touched by, to get used to presenting in front of an examiner. And this student had found it very useful and had sent me a WhatsApp message to thank me for the lesson. And I was very touched, as I say, except when I realized that the only lesson I've ever had a WhatsApp thank you for was one in which I had not uttered a single word. So, respect by others. We love the praise, but it doesn't really mean much unless we feel good about it ourselves. And what makes me feel good? When I look at my Form 3s, my IB 1s and 2s, and I look at the magic young men and women that they've grown up to be, I know that this is a valuable way to spend my time. I would advise you, don't decide on a job that's given a lot of status by other people. Find a job where in your own eyes you will have status, where you will be your own hero. So how else do we make our lives a success? Maslow suggests we need to learn acceptance of facts. Well, my career choices offered me that as well. There were many things that I just had to accept. A baby's nappy can be very messy, and their sneezes can defy the laws of physics. But there's no point in being angry with the baby for making a messy nappy, or feeling victimized, or resentful, or feeling that it's all too much. You've just got to accept it. So that's the lesson I learned from parenting. Don't blame, don't moan, just accept the facts. Find a career or a lifestyle which allows you to live with integrity in the face of life's intransigent facts. You see, you can learn a lot from poo and snot. Next, Maslow says that we need a sense of fulfillment. It's so important to feel that you are fulfilling your passion and your purpose. What is your passion? You might need to spend a little bit of time deciding what it really is that sparks you. What do you love doing? What situations energize you? For some, it might be a lonely walk on a beach, whereas for others, it might be a lively party with family and friends. What states of mind do you favor? Do you work best as a problem solver, or a visionary, or a team builder, or what? Spend a little bit of time getting to know yourself. I knew that I loved two things, language and children. And I put those together and made a teaching career. And I have loved absolutely every minute, almost. There was that time when no, never mind, I won't. A band called Headley has a catchy song about a man who wants to follow his heart. The man defies those who tell him he can't follow his passion. He sings, I can, sir. He scorns the voices that say he should burn his guitar. So don't burn your guitar if you love it. Play it. Find a way to incorporate it into your lifestyle or your career. And making the world a better place, isn't that really ultimately what we want our careers to provide for us? Sometimes in my parenting, I think I tried to make my children better people, and I think they felt a little bit overwhelmed by it. Be good, I would urge them, and they would assure me, I am being good. Be nice, I would say. They would say, I am being nice. Be kind. I am being kind. And one day I said to my son, behave. And automatically his voice came back, I am being behave. But I have certainly felt that being a full-time parent makes the world a better place. I think that children who have a full-time parent automatically absorb what the rest of us spend our adult lives trying to re-establish, and that is a sense of inner strength and inner worth. And I find this sense of inner worth invaluable. Don't you often find in society that problems are caused by someone who has a bit of a chip on their shoulder? Someone who has something to prove? And even in the classroom and in school, problems are sometimes caused by people who feel they've been ignored, people who've been abused, or someone who's desperate to make people listen. And with a sense of inner worth, you don't need to act out in that way. So, how do we develop a sense of inner worth? I'm not sure exactly. But connecting wholeheartedly in the present moment with another being who recognizes me and accepts me in my entirety must have something to do with it. And as a full-time parent, it's just that much easier for me to be fully present in every moment with my child. And that sense, that presence, enables my child to feel that he or she has inner worth. And relating this to successful career choices and successful life choices, the answer is simple. Know your inner worth, know your passion and your purpose, and then just go out and live it. Thank you.